Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. This is Abby Stewie. Today we have a topic that can truly change your life for the better: waking up early. There are 4 main segments to this video, and essentially we will explore the benefits of rising with the sun, as well as sharing some practical tips to help you with the switch from sleeping in to waking up early. And we'll also be discussing why waking up so early can be such a game changer for your entire life. Let's get started. Here's segment 1: why waking up early matters. Before we discuss waking up early and how we're going to do it, we need to understand why is it important. If we don't have a why, we're not going to want to do it. And I know that from experience. First and foremost, it is well known that early risers tend to be much more productive. Waking up with the sunrise allows you to have uninterrupted quiet time. It's a time of day when nobody else is awake. It is entirely your own. You can prioritize anything you want. For example, my mission statement is that I prioritize my mental and my physical health, and so my mornings waking up early allows me to do this. And literal studies show that by waking up early, you're more likely to have a healthy lifestyle and a steady exercise routine, which is so important in today's world. Let's explore the main benefits that come with waking up early. First thing is increased productivity. By waking up early, you are getting a head start on your day. You are awake before anyone else. You can do anything you want to. You're not at the whim of any kind of random notification that you get on your phone or any parent telling you what to do or an assignment. You are simply here with yourself and anything you want to prioritize. And that makes you so productive compared to everyone else. Big things to do in the morning: planning your tasks, setting your goals either for the day or reflecting on your goals that you have for the future. And really allow yourself to get into that workflow and tackle important projects while you have this fresh mindset and mentality before anyone else has filtered into your head. This is a great time to just explore and create and research, design. The morning is the time to do it. Now, one of the biggest things I recommend is a very peaceful morning routine. I have the most amazing morning ritual, and something about having a peaceful morning and not necessarily starting off with harsh interactions or realities is you can create that calm atmosphere for yourself and set the tone for the rest of the day. So for this, I'm going to show you my morning routine. And by no means does this mean you have to wake up at 4 a.m. Me, myself, every single day I wake up before 7 a.m. And so on days where I have a lot to do, I'll wake up at 5. Today, I woke up at 7. And one of the biggest things I love about getting up early is that you make time for the self-care that you wouldn't have time for if you just wake up 30 minutes before you have to leave for work. You know, you really get to intrinsically look at yourself and love yourself, give yourself the nurturing it needs so that other people want to love you and nurture you as well, because you get what you give. If you love yourself, other people will love you as well. And finally, it improves your sleep quality. And let's talk about that, because a lot of times we think about the quantity of sleep. We're like, oh, I'm gonna get 12 hours of sleep, this, and this. If I'm sleeping till 12, 1, 2, while I may be getting more sleep, sunlight's already streaming in and birds are chirping, there are noises going on in the house. It's not that quality sleep that you need for those 8 hours. Well, a lot of people will say 8 hours of sleep is what you need. If it's 8 hours of poor quality sleep, it's not what you need. What you need is 8 hours where you go to bed early and you wake up early when it's dark outside and sunlight isn't coming in and intruding on that inner peace while you're sleeping. By waking up early, you learn to regulate your sleep schedule, which is so beneficial because it leads to better sleep quality and better overall health, such as your immunity, which I have suffered from. And honestly, when I have a poor sleep schedule, I have a poor immunity. So if you want to stay strong, you want to have the energy that you need to work out and do all of the things to make you successful, waking up early is the first step. So now we're going to talk about making that gradual shift because it can be hard, I know. I'm gonna tell you a little story about when I was in university this past year. So it was my freshman year at college, and I really loved it. I was going to bed at 4 a.m. I was waking up at 7:30, and it was awful. And eventually it spiraled to the point where I was staying out till 4 a.m. and not able to get out of bed before 2. I was depressed, I was anxious, I wasn't getting things done, and I was not productive. And when I came home from college, I had that same mindset. I was sleeping all day, I had no energy, a lack of willpower. Also, if you are at a place where you need help, please reach out to family and friends or a doctor. But let's continue. So what did I do? I started going to bed early and waking up a little earlier each day. When I told you just now, like, oh, I wake up before 7 every day, I started waking up before 9 every day, and then before 8 every day, and then before 7 every day. And some days after that gradual 7, I can wake up at 6 or 5 or 4. It really depends on me, and it depends on where I am at. You need to assess where you're at. If you're currently waking up at 2 p.m. and you're like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, that's not gonna happen. You need to have realistic goals for yourself, okay? Let me give you a little task. Get out your notebook, write this down, because this is what you're gonna do if you really genuinely want to start waking up earlier. This is how you're gonna make that gradual shift. First things first, you're gonna set your alarm 15 to 30 minutes earlier than you normally would. So let's say you're currently waking up at 2 p.m. You're gonna set your alarm for 1:30. If you're currently waking up at 6 a.m. and you want to wake up at 5 a.m., you're gonna start by setting your alarm for 5:45. You're kind of meeting closer to where you're at, but again, 1% better every day. If you've read Atomic Habits, one of my favorite books, little by little you get better and better, and eventually you get to where you wanted to be. But taking that drastic step leads to burnout, and honestly is not productive. It's counterintuitive and counterproductive. Next, you're going to want to create a sleep-friendly environment. I can tell you what, during the day, my room is a mess because I am a YouTuber, I'm filming, I'm creative, I'm creating all sorts of mess. And yeah, if I were to go to sleep in the way my room looks right now, no, my end tables are covered. I mean, there is crap everywhere. I have cups all around, literally my sweet tea right here. Let me take a drink. Refreshing. Anyway, back to the topic. Basically, you're gonna wanna make the environment clean. You don't want any cluttered surfaces or things on the floor. You really want to feel like you're in a zen space. Set the mood, set some dim lighting, put your phone away, and make sure that your environment before you go to bed is going to be the best for you to be able to sleep comfortably. When I first came home from school, I had so much stuff. Sorry, my computer was sending me a notification. When I first came home from school, I had so much stuff that over half of my bed was covered in stuff. My entire floor was covered in things. You think of a depression room, multiply it by 10, okay? It was the most disgusting environment, and I was exhausted. And do you know why I was exhausted? Because I didn't have that place for peace and for rest. And so you know what I did? I threw away everything. Everything that didn't serve me, I got rid of it. And honestly, if you're at that place right now, get rid of things. Clean your mess, because honestly, I still have so much stuff, but looking at where I was, I am so much better off than where I was before. So clean your space. Make sure it's refreshing, making sure it's zen, you can breathe in it, you're not feeling cluttered. You know, a cluttered space equals a cluttered mind, and you don't want that before you're going to sleep or while you're sleeping, because it's going to impact your ability to sleep. Next thing is you need to stick to a consistent schedule. For me personally, it's easy. I wake up, I do my morning routine, I go to work, I get home from work, I do my evening things, I go to bed. However, sometimes our schedules are a little crazy. When you're at college, sometimes your job is remote some days, in person the next. When you're at college, you have classes Mondays and Wednesdays that are different than Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's hard to build that consistent routine. So what you need to do is you need to sit down and you need to look at your schedule. One thing I recommend using is Google Calendars, and I'm actually going to show you mine right now. So this is what my calendar looks like for next school year. As you can see, there are a lot of blocks in between, and each day is very different. There are different times for classes. Classes are in different spaces. That's why I color coordinate, and I recommend going in and color coordinating your big things that you have to do, right? Because the rest of your life is kind of going to flow around that. And then once you can see that schedule and those things that are assigned, you can set the things in place that you need to do for yourself. So for example, Mondays and Wednesdays, I don't have classes until 11:45 a.m. So on those days, I can go on long runs. Whereas on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have a cycling class on main campus. And so therefore, I won't be going on runs in the morning. In the morning, I can focus on maybe self-care and homework or studying and things like that. So really looking at the things you already have in place and how you can formulate a schedule around it to create that overall cycle for your health. And then the biggest and most important thing that you can do for yourself is set a wind down time. Now, this does not mean a bedtime. I found that when I tell myself I'm going to go to bed at 9 p.m., that's actually when I start like slowing down for bed. So you need to set a time an hour before you plan to go to bed. There's going to be your wind down time. Your lighting in your room is going to dim. You're going to have this like dark kind of homey space that makes you want to curl in your blankets and fall asleep. Typically in the hour before I go to bed, what I'll do is I'll brush my teeth, get situated, get in my room. I'll create a list of tasks that I need to do for the next day. And then what I do is I lay in my bed and I read, and naturally, gradually, my eyes kind of soften and I get in that mindset where I'm ready to fall asleep. Whereas if I brush my teeth and immediately get in my bed and like, this is when I'm going to bed, my mind's racing with thoughts. But if I read a calm, kind of subtle book before I go to bed, it allows me to quiet my soul, get ready for sleep. A lot of people will tell you, you just need to set a bedtime. You need to go to bed by this bedtime. And that's true. If I'm waking up at 5, I need to be asleep by 10. However, that 9 to 10 p.m. period is crucial for actually falling asleep and getting that quality sleep. Alrighty, now I'm gonna give you some extra tips for success in actually implementing this into your life every single day. First things first, an accountability partner is great. Me personally, all my friends like to sleep in, my parents like to sleep in. I don't have an accountability partner, I just kind of do it on my own. But I'm gonna be living in an apartment this year and it would be great if my friends got up early with me. I don't see them doing it, but if you have a roommate, maybe see if they want to get up early with you, or have someone who will get breakfast with you every morning, or like you need to be ready to do this at this time with them, or find someone who wants to go to the gym with you in the morning. Having that accountability partner really allows you to share that goal and making sure that you're being there on time the way you want to be. So I guess you could consider one accountability partner my dog. He comes into my room at 6:30 every morning ready to play. And so if you have a pet or you have that system set in place where it's another thing other than yourself that is also getting up early, it'll encourage you to get up early. Next thing, have something motivating for you in the morning. It's always fun to get out of bed when you know there's something to do. For example, I got out of bed this morning knowing that I was going to film this YouTube video, and it made me feel great. I was like, oh my gosh, I have this exciting thing to do. I love creating content. I love doing this. So have something that you love doing. Or if, for example, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go drive to the lake and do yoga on the dock today. Oh, so fun, so exciting, so refreshing. Obviously, those are my things. Maybe for you, it's like, I get out of bed and I do this and I get to watch an episode of this. Or maybe you have like saved inspirational videos for like who you want to become, what you want to do, and you wake up, you get out of bed, you do your stuff, and you watch these videos, and all of a sudden you're pumped for the day. Have that morning motivation ready for you right when you wake up. And number 3, one of the hardest things for me personally, and especially for students out there, is avoiding the caffeine and the electronics before bed, because it will really make it hard to sleep. So I literally have a phone and a caffeine addiction. Oh my gosh, all of my friends from college can attest. I would chug a coffee before going to work out between 9 and 11 p.m. and then I would chug another coffee to do my homework and have it done before 4 a.m. and then go get in bed. And that entire time I was working on my computer, on my phone, texting people, like being the most unproductive person ever. And looking back at myself, I'm just like, girl, get out of here. You need to fix yourself. And you know, everyone's at their own place, but where I'm at right now, I'm like, you were doing that? You were really doing that? And I was sleeping in late. I was barely getting to class, right? No. What you're gonna do is know that caffeine has a half-life of 5 hours. So you drink your cup of coffee and let's say it has 100 milligrams of caffeine, all right? 5 hours later, it is gonna have 50 milligrams of caffeine in your system. 5 hours after that, 25 milligrams. So if you think about it, if you're having a coffee at 4 p.m., half of that caffeine is still in your system at 9 p.m. For me, looking back at where I was in college, I was drinking that coffee at 9 p.m., 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m. 50% of that coffee caffeine was still in my system, which is not good for you. And other studies have shown that if you have screen time after 11 p.m., you will be more depressed, less productive, and less happy with your life. Who wants that? So make sure you're not looking at light after 11 p.m. No late movie nights. Do you want to be depressed? Do you want to be unhappy with your life, unsuccessful? No. You need to set these boundaries for yourself. It's fun to go out with friends, whatever, but the majority of your nights, you need to be thinking of that 1% better every day, or else you're going to get 1% worse every day. So keep that in mind. And there you have it. That is the power of waking up early and getting your shit together and being productive, all right? It's hard to get started, but try these tips. Write down what I say. Save this video for later. I will be your motivator because I used to be you. Yes, I did. And now I wake up. I get out of bed. I actually want to get out of bed. That's another thing. Have a reason to get out of bed. Please, please love yourself enough to get out of bed and do something. Do something. These tips can truly transform your life and lead you to being more productive, more successful, more happy. Just because you're embracing yourself, you're loving yourself, you're choosing that discipline, and you're respecting yourself. And those are the biggest things you can choose to do in life. So are you ready to embrace this lifestyle? Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you think my personality is a little too out there, or if you think my tips are a little too out there, and what you're actually going to start implementing into your life. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful night. Bye. Love you.